The US President Donald Trump has warned that operations against Iran will continue until all objectives are achieved.
We're focused on shooting all the things that can shoot at us. Our B-2 bombers and B-1 bombers have executed uncontested surgical strikes against multiple missile facilities deep inside Iran. And then just last night, a B-52 bomber force struck ballistic missile and command and control posts.
America just did something Iran never thought was possible. 4 B-2 Spirit stealth bombers took off from the United States, flew 30 hours non-stop, crossed the Atlantic, crossed the Mediterranean, entered Iranian airspace, and dropped dozens of 2,000-pound bunker-busting bombs directly on Iran's underground ballistic missile sites. Hit subscribe for more updates. Iran built these facilities deep underground for one specific reason. They believed depth equals safety. Reinforced concrete bunkers, hardened tunnels, command centers buried hundreds of feet below the surface, missile production lines hidden where American bombs supposedly could never reach. And then 4 B-2s flying from Missouri punched through all of it, destroyed it, and flew home. The 4 bombers were already crossing the Strait of Gibraltar, heading back to Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, while Iranian missile sites were still burning underground. Mission complete. Targets obliterated. Bombers already gone. This was not a raid. This was not a strike. This was annihilation, and it represents the largest bunker-busting operation in military history, because what 4 B-2s just did to Iran's underground infrastructure changes everything about how this war ends. Here is exactly what 4 B-2 Spirit stealth bombers accomplished, and why this mission demonstrates capabilities no other military on Earth can replicate. A U.S. official confirmed it directly to Fox News. 4 U.S. A-2 Spirit bombers flew non-stop from the United States to Iran. No forward staging, no advance warning. Round trip from continental United States straight to Iranian territory, straight back home. The 4 aircraft, part of the Pro-41 flight, were tracked crossing the Strait of Gibraltar on their return journey to Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. An unnamed U.S. official confirmed the bombers dropped dozens of 2,000-pound bombs on underground ballistic missile sites inside Iran. Dozens of bombs, each one weighing 2,000 pounds, all of them targeting facilities Iran constructed specifically to survive American airstrikes. Iran spent years and billions of dollars building these bunkers. America destroyed them in a single 30-hour mission. Think about what weapons were used and why 2,000-pound bunker busters were the perfect choice for destroying underground missile facilities. These were not the massive 30,000-pound GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators used during Operation Midnight Hammer in June 2025. This mission used something different. The GBU-31 JDAM, a 2,000-pound precision-guided munition built around the BLU-109 bunker buster warhead. The BLU-109 has a hardened steel casing engineered specifically to punch through reinforced concrete before detonating inside the bunker, not on top of it, inside it. Each B-2 can carry up to 80 of the 500-pound variants, or 16 of the 2,000-pound versions. 4 bombers, dozens of 2,000-pound bunker busters, all guided with precision accuracy directly into Iran's underground missile infrastructure. Iran built these facilities underground, thinking concrete and depth would protect them. The BLU-109 was designed for exactly this problem, and it worked. Now look at the mission profile and why flying 30-hour round-trip missions directly from Missouri proves American strategic reach has no equal on Earth. The flight route followed the same path as Operation Midnight Hammer in June 2025. Same Strait of Gibraltar crossing, same operational security, same outcome. Iran never saw them coming. The mission was supported by a minimum of 5 KC-46 Pegasus aerial refueling tankers staging out of Lajes Air Base in the Azores. 5 massive tankers launching at 30-second minimum intervals from Lajes, meeting the B-2s over the Atlantic, refueling them mid-flight, sending them toward Iran with full fuel tanks, then meeting them again on the return journey. And here is the detail that makes this even more remarkable. The bombers used deception even in their radio communications, using tanker call signs instead of bomber call signs. Anyone monitoring radio traffic would have heard what sounded like routine refueling aircraft, not 4 stealth bombers loaded with bunker-busting weapons flying toward Iran. Iran's intelligence never detected the mission. Iran's air defense network never tracked the aircraft. The first indication Iran had that B-2s were in their airspace was when the bombs detonated underground. Here is what the strike package targeted and why hitting underground ballistic missile sites matters more than nuclear facilities at this stage of the conflict. 4 B-2s dropped dozens of 2,000-pound bunker-busting bombs. Not enrichment facilities, not nuclear reactors, missile production bunkers, missile storage facilities, underground launch infrastructure. Here is why that targeting decision is so significant. Iran's nuclear program was already crippled in June 2025 when 7 B-2s dropped 14 30,000-pound GBU-57 penetrators on Fordo and Natanz. The centrifuge halls are collapsed. The nuclear enrichment facilities are destroyed. The nuclear program cannot function without infrastructure that no longer exists. This strike targets something different, what Iran planned to use for retaliation: their missiles, their launch systems, their underground production lines that were building the weapons currently hitting Tel Aviv and American bases across the Gulf. Destroy the missiles, and Iran cannot threaten American forces, cannot hit Israel, cannot close the Strait of Hormuz, cannot activate its proxy network with fresh weapons supplies. America is not just hitting Iran's past capability. America is destroying Iran's future capability. Now, look at what happened simultaneously and why coordinated strikes destroyed Iran's entire strategic infrastructure in a single operation window. While B-2s were obliterating underground missile sites, US Navy Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from submarines in the Arabian Sea were hitting something else entirely. Kharg Island, Iran's largest crude oil export terminal, handling 1.8 million barrels per day. The economic lifeline that funds everything: missiles, proxies, the IRGC, the entire regime's ability to wage war. High-resolution post-strike imagery confirms the entire export complex engulfed in multiple uncontrolled fires, thick black smoke plumes visible from space. Kharg Island is burning. 1.8 million barrels of Iranian crude gone from global markets immediately. Iran's oil revenue severed. No exports, no revenue, no funding for the war machine. Simultaneously, Tomahawks hit Bandar Abbas naval base. Underground fuel bunkers suffered catastrophic breaches. Thermal imaging confirms approximately 60% of stored fuel stocks destroyed. Tunnels flooded from ruptured fuel lines. Iran's navy sits in port. Aircraft cannot sustain operations, all because submarine-launched Tomahawks found the underground fuel bunkers and destroyed them. Think about what Israel struck simultaneously and why coordinated American-Israeli operations dismantled Iran's entire weapons infrastructure in a single night. While America hit the missile sites and oil infrastructure, Israel was hitting something else entirely. Israeli F-35I Adir aircraft carrying Spice 2000 glide bombs neutralized the Arak heavy water reactor complex and the Isfahan uranium conversion facility.
Arak destroyed, Isfahan obliterated. In eastern Iran, Israeli drones and standoff missiles eliminated the Parchin military research complex, the suspected nuclear warhead design site, and two previously untouched solid-fuel missile production lines near Semnan. Parchin, where Iran designed nuclear warheads; Semnan, where they produced solid-fuel missiles, both destroyed in a single salvo. America hit the missile sites, Israel hit the warhead facilities. Complete dismantlement of Iran's strategic weapons infrastructure in a single operation window. Now look at the precision strike missile deployment reveals, and why this conflict saw the first ever combat use of America's newest weapon. U.S. Central Command released images and videos showing capabilities used throughout the first day of operations, among them something that has never been seen in combat before. The U.S. Army's new precision strike missile, launched from an M142 high-mobility artillery rocket system, HIMARS, first combat use ever, hitting Iranian targets with pinpoint accuracy from distances that previous rocket systems could never reach. Also confirmed in combat for the first time, Tomahawk cruise missiles with a glossy black coating, low observancy stealth coating, never previously photographed in actual combat operations. Stealth cruise missiles, new precision strike missiles, B-2 stealth bombers. America deployed its most advanced and most classified weapons systems against Iran in a single operation.
Here is what the casualty numbers reveal, and why the asymmetry of this conflict proves Iran cannot sustain this fight. U.S. Central Command confirmed 3 American service members killed in action, 5 seriously wounded, several others with minor injuries, 3 American deaths. Iranian authorities reported more than 200 killed from U.S.-Israeli strikes, hundreds more wounded. Supreme Leader Khamenei killed. Dozens of IRGC commanders eliminated. Nuclear facilities destroyed. Oil infrastructure obliterated. Underground missile sites cratered. 3 American deaths. 200 Iranian deaths minimum. Iran's entire strategic leadership and infrastructure gone. America's B-2s already home in Missouri. Think about what Iran's retaliation actually accomplished, and why striking American bases proves they cannot touch the platforms that destroyed their infrastructure. Iran struck the US Navy 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain. Iran hit commercial tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. Houthi missiles sank a Greek-flagged tanker off Yemen. Hezbollah fired 200-plus rockets into northern Israel. Proxies activated across Yemen, Lebanon, and Iraq, all launching attacks simultaneously. But not one of those attacks touched a B-2 bomber, because the B-2s flew from Missouri, dropped their bombs, and flew home. Iran can hit bases. Iran can strike tankers. Iran can activate proxies across the region. Iran cannot touch the platforms that just destroyed their strategic infrastructure. The bombers are already back in Missouri, while Iranian missile sites are still burning underground. Now look at what America is already doing, and why ordering replacement weapons immediately tells you this operation is far from finished. The U.S. Air Force awarded Boeing a contract worth over $100 million to replace GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators expended during operations against Iranian nuclear facilities. $100 million in new bunker busters, already ordered, already in production. America used bunker busters on Iran and immediately ordered more, because there are other bunkers, other underground facilities, other regimes watching this conflict and thinking they are safe if they bury their weapons programs deep enough underground. They are not safe, and America just proved it. One thing is absolutely certain right now. 4 B-2 stealth Spirit bombers flew non-stop from Missouri to Iran and back. Dozens of 2,000-pound bunker-busting bombs destroyed underground ballistic missile sites. US Navy Tomahawks obliterated Kharg Island, eliminating 1.8 million barrels per day of Iranian oil exports. Bandar Abbas fuel reserves destroyed, 60% of stored stocks gone. Israeli strikes neutralized Arak, Isfahan, Parchin, and Semnan missile production facilities. The first ever combat use of the precision strike missile confirmed. Stealth Tomahawks photographed in combat for the first time. Iranian air defenses never fired a single shot at the B-2s. 3 American service members lost. Iran's strategic infrastructure annihilated. So here is what happens next. Iran built underground missile sites, thinking concrete and depth would protect them. America flew bombers 30 hours from Missouri and obliterated them with precision bunker busters. Iran's oil exports are gone, fuel reserves destroyed, missile production crippled, nuclear program already demolished, B-2s already home. Iran can activate proxies, can launch missiles and bases and tankers, cannot touch bombers they never detected, cannot repair infrastructure they cannot access, cannot replace fuel they cannot purchase, cannot rebuild missile sites that no longer exist. This is not degradation of Iran's military capability. This is annihilation. Stay tuned.